The human brain is the most complex and powerful thing that we've ever seen. But what happens when we try to simulate our brains on a computational level? This is what artificial intelligence is trying to achieve. While human intelligence tries to adjust to new environments by using a combination of different cognitive processes, artificial intelligence strives to build machines that can imitate human behavior and perform human-like actions. What do self-driving cars, facial recognition technologies, and speech recognition have in common? They all use something called the neural network. An artificial neural network is the functional unit of artificial intelligence. As the name suggests, the neural network works very similarly to the human brain. Now let's learn about neural networks with an example considering a scenario where you have been given a set of labeled images and you have to classify them into two classes. One class containing images of dogs and another class containing images of cats. So how would you begin creating this neural network that classifies between dogs and cats? The process always begins with pre-processing and transforming the input in such a way that it can be easily processed. In our case, each dog and cat image will be broken down into pixels. The dog image is composed of 30 by 30 pixels, and each of the 900 pixels is fed into the input layer of the neural network, and the input layer passes them on to the hidden layer and finally to the output layer. Each neuron of the first layer of neurons of one layer are connected to neurons of the next layer through channels. Each of these channels is assigned a numerical value known as a weight. The inputs are multiplied to the corresponding weights and the sum is sent as the input to the neurons. In the hidden layer, each of these neurons is associated with a numerical value called the bias, which is then added to the input sum. This value is then passed through a threshold function called an activation function. This is called forward propagation. In the output layer, the neuron with the highest value fires and determines the output value, basically the probability. For example, here, the cat has the highest probability. We know our neural network has made a wrong prediction, but how does the network figure this out? That's when training comes into the picture. During the training process, the predicted output is compared with the correct output and the error is determined. We train the network by using the backpropagation method. We propagate backwards in a neural network and readjust the weights of each input in such a way that the error is minimized and this results in a more accurate output. And this is exactly what we want. Once the neural network is trained with sufficient dogs and cats, it predicts any new picture of a dog or cat correctly. Even my cat wearing a mask is detected just fine.